Hi, I'm Kez. Philly's next to me, and we are really excited to be here. And today we are going to carry on with some shadow work and some shading and stuff on these All Stars. So I've got my setup here. Today I'm going to be using a bit of the Dremel. He's switching my camera over already. How's yours, sis?
Probably telling me I forgot.
No, not just yet. Right, so I'm gonna start off using the Dremel. If you haven't got one of these, don't worry about it. Just use what you've got. You can still do whatever you need to do with your normal machine. I'm just using this for how fast it is and the quickness of it. So I will still be using the Peter Childs, and I will switch over part way through. So if we can I have my camera now, please.
Yep.
Thank you. Right, so I've got my picture here. I've got my piece of wood here. This is just to lean on. What I'm going to do is zoom you guys in. Oh no, that's out. We'll go in, shall we? There we go. So, and I will put my light on. There we go. So just popping this on. So all I'm going to do is start off in this middle section here. And we're just using the back and forward motion with the light pressure, and we're just going to go backwards and forwards. It's like a light sketchy motion. I'm not putting any pressure on this. These I have pre-warmed this a little bit, but they tend to take a while to warm up. These ones do. Like I say, if you're using a different machine, it doesn't matter. I'm just going darker. I know that some of you are ahead of me on this, and some of you haven't even started, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going to pass over to Phil, and he's going to say hi to everybody.
Well, when I find out who's on here. At the moment we have Andrew from AGK Woodworks.
Hey Andrew.
Keep It Classy himself, Mr. Huey Lionheart.
Hey up Huey.
Jacob from Jacked Up Leatherworks.
Hey up Jacob.
And I believe Rob from Coplar Wood Turnings around somewhere.
Hey up Rob. How is everybody? I hope everybody's doing okay this week. Been up to much? So this section here is really dark, hence the need for this one. It's just got quite a wide nib on the end. I'm not going to touch it because that would be silly. It's got quite a wide nib on it on the end, so it blacks a bigger area. There we go.
And Bitten's joined us.
Hi Bitten, how are you doing?
Bitten. Jacob says he's been up to all kinds of trouble.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with getting up to trouble. We could all get up to trouble at sometimes, can't we? So there's no pressure on this. And like I said earlier, if you are using another machine, it is absolutely fine. Go for it.
Yeah, you're just using it to speed up the process.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm just using it to speed up the process because, you know, you can spend a long time burning these darker areas. And obviously for video purposes, it's it's just quicker and perhaps a little more satisfying for you guys to watch. There we go. Because with pyrography, you have to bring your patience. and I'm sure you guys, you've been with me now for a few weeks with this one and a few weeks with the other series, so you guys know it takes a while. It takes a while. And we are just going up here. So all I'm doing is moving across the wood just a little bit faster, because that section there is darker. That section there is darker on the shoe, but I don't want to. This will scorch and burn way too fast. So if I move fast, it means that I can layer it.
Yeah, Bitten says she's fine, thank you. Tired, but I've had an amazing class today. 5 students would turn in, they were all good.
Brilliant, brilliant. Can't wish for any better, can you? I do believe, Bitten, you're one of the ones that is actually ahead of me on these, aren't you? You've got all your shadow in and all your darks, a lot of your darks in, which is really, really cool. So let's go up here. Just being careful around here and here, because we've got the little eyelets, so we don't want to colour those in because they're really, really light. So we put it in, and this part here, this line, I've got to leave this line because it's actually part of the rubber on the shoe. So I'm going to try and get around there. There we go. It's actually quite dark up here, so just trying to get this in. It's like laying down the base layer again, I suppose. Well, not suppose, it is.
Oh, so Bitten says, came in a bit late, so I think it's under the heart, so I think it says, so why are you using that tool now?
It's just for quick, just for speeding up. I got to catch up with you, Bitten.
There you are, you have your answer.
Yeah, I'm just using this one just for quickness. It blackens things down really, really quick. I mean, if you don't wish to use, I know you've got one, but if you don't wish to use it, then you don't have to. Just carry on using your other. I think it's a Peter Childs you've got, isn't it? So just carry on using that if that's what you wish to use. I'm just doing this. It's just for speed, especially for videos. You know as well as I do, it takes a long time to burn. There we go. I will be using my other one shortly.
So Bitten says she'll soon be behind you. I'm too tired to burn along the last 2 Sundays.
That's okay.
But you know, when I first start burning, it's difficult to stop.
Yeah, it does get a bit like that, doesn't it? So going up here, I'm leaving this bit here because these are where the stitching is. So I'm just going to go up the side of this stitching. In between the stitching is the dark, but I like to do that afterwards so I know where my stitch is going to go, otherwise I'll just completely forget it.
You'll end up with no stitching.
Yeah,
You.
Yeah, that's the one.
Or going off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, definitely going off in the wrong direction. It's the story of my life, that is. There we go.
Well, Bitten says she finds it difficult with this machine.
It is something to get used to. And if you look, my hand is actually, I've got the wood and then I've got my hand just on a piece of foam. So I'm just leaning on this piece of foam and it just raises my hand up just a little bit, and it gives me the correct angle for using this, because this is it's basically so far away. I know that it sounds weird to take it further away, but it actually works really well. I started with this machine, so it's just something that I go back to because that's where I started.
And Andy the Valley Woodturner has joined us this afternoon, Andy.
Hey up, Andy. As you, Lucy and the kiddos. So going up here, and pulling down because it's easy. It's actually a thin line up there, so just pulling down. I'm using this tip slightly on its side, so as you can see, it's got an angle. So what I do is use the side bit to pull down on its sharper edge. Just so I can get that angle right, just for that back of that shoe. There we go.
Andy says, all good, thanks, back from a play date for Gideon.
Ooh, did he ever hope he had a good yeah. I get right in it. Hopefully he had a good time. I'm going to go around this shoelace here. Across there like that. Now I'm just using the pulling, it's like the pushing and the pulling motion, just because I find it easier with this machine, just to pushing and pulling.
Rather than trying to scrumble.
I do scrumble with it, but it just for the sometimes like that this requires the push and the pull, so it's just I'll use that.
Rob from Clean Squirrel Brazers has joined us.
Hey up, Rob, how you doing, darling? Hopefully you're enjoying your Sunday afternoon. There we go.
Probably listen to sound of 3D printers.
Yeah, probably. Go on, who's going to ask him? Who's going to ask him? There we go. I've actually got some stitching going around there as well, so keep an eye on that bit. There we are. So it's starting to dog down really fast. If I'd used the other one, because the tip is so tiny, we'd still be doing this section here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rob says, doing great, thanks. How did you guess? And Andy says, I wasn't going to.
Yeah, you should. It's like a running commentary now, isn't it? Well, a running joke now, isn't it? Although he has started welding the desk now.
Yeah, part of the frame's welded up. I'll finish the rest tomorrow.
Yeah, the materials arrived. When did the worktop arrive?
Middle of last week.
Yeah.
Wednesday, I think.
Yeah, so we were waiting for materials to arrive last week. And yeah, the worktop was the last thing to arrive. I think it was Wednesday, wasn't it?
That's what I've just said.
Oh. Oops.
Shows how much you listen to me, doesn't it?
Pardon? It's like an annoying noise in the ear.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have the main section of desk in next week.
Yay! And then he's got to make the shelf for the printer to go on. Because the desk's for me.
We'll get there.
Yeah. I'm surprised you hadn't just put the shelf up first. And gone there, stuffy desk.
Yeah, so we'll do the electrics before I can do that.
Yeah. It's never just one job, is it? It's always seems to be, no matter what you're doing and no matter who's doing it, it's always sort of 3 or 4 jobs that need doing. Okay. Just using light pressure, gliding across the surface of the wood, just to add extra layers in here. You can see that this quickly adds layers in. Just sneaking up to that little...
Don't forget your stitching.
Yeah, no, the stitching's there. I'm not forgetting that. I was sneaking up to the little eyelet things here with this dark. And this bit in between is really dark, so I'm just going to go over that really slow but really light, just to get that extra depth.
Jacob, that's one for the chat, I think.
What's
They're
that?
a lot more expert than I am. How
Huh?
much do them type of printers usually run?
What are the 3D printers?
Yeah.
It's definitely not one for you yet. You ain't even got yours out of your box.
No. Well, no, it has been out of its box, but only to find out what footprint it needs for the shelf.
Yeah, no.
It's only a little one.
It said hello world and then goodbye world very quickly. So just going around this eyelet, and this white bit here is the rubber bit, like off the sole of the shoe. It's just the way it goes. Just that this section here is in dark.
I don't put a picture on today.
No.
Here we are.
Thank you. Yeah, just getting these extra layers in. It just. This one's definitely a lot faster. It's great for things like this, and great if you can screw the end off, and you can actually, if you've got like the background here, and you want that dark, you can actually just burn it like a blowtorch bit. So, and that does like really, really fast. But it's not so hot on details. Right. So it's gone in there pretty fast, hasn't it? So what have we got here? We've got clean the screen.
And Wayne the Woodchurn has joined us. Afternoon, Wayne.
Hey up, Wayne, how you doing? So we're just going to go here.
And
Scrumbling
Lucy
this
Bundy
time.
Rose joined us.
Hey up, Lucy. How you doing? Right, just darkening that down, because that is where there's just a shadow there where the fabric is, and then it comes up there, and it wrinkles just here. And there's a round like that. let's get that in nicely. There we go. And then we'll, where this has gone really dark, we'll just blend in either side. We won't leave this line here so harsh. We will blend it. And there we are. So that's blended on one side. Now we've got the other side to do.
Looks like they're joined together at the moment.
The shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will do. Just because of the way that the shadows are. And sometimes when you sort of drawing or burning or whatever you're doing, sometimes your brain puts things in that it shouldn't be there and makes things look weird. So you literally do just have to copy. Well, when you are copying a picture, copy exactly as it is and just kind of like copy it blind, really. So just dragging from the darker section into the lighter section, using the backwards and forwards motion, so it's just like the push-pull. And very light pressure. If you think of pressure being, if you put a pencil on the back of your hand and it goes white, you are putting too much pressure on. And if you can basically draw like with a felt tip on the back of your hand very lightly, that is the amount of pressure that you would be putting on here. If you can draw on the skin of a tomato, you're doing all right. So just adding these layers in. That there is just solid black now. That's right, I was just checking my photo. I used the iPad to look at for my reference photo rather than the printout, because I can actually zoom into areas, and the iPad has also got its colour picker, so you can roll over with the colour picker and you can see exactly where colours start to change and start to get lighter or darker. And round that little eyelet again. Bit of a wiggle. This one's quite heavy, so you have to stop with your hand for a bit. Right, there's a bit of a shadow in here, so we're going to pull that down and into that. There we are. And that shadow goes around the front of that bit of the shoe, just there, and then around here.
You're starting to go up your screen, darling.
Okay, just give me a second. Put that there, like that. How's that?
That's better.
That better? Okay. Now where was I? There. Right. There. Just getting that shadow in there. Around that shoe. Well, the front of that shoe and the front of this shoe. But it actually goes really, really dark. So we're going to take that really, really dark just on that section right now. Just because I'll remember where I need to be.
There you won't.
Well, I'll remember where the lines are, because the lines will be in front of me. just using a bit of a scrumbling motion, just to see if it's a little bit better. Yes, it's darkening it just a little bit darker without leaving the yellow overburn, because that is ugly. So we're trying to darken this without leaving the yellow overburn. If you leave a yellow overburn, it's too hot. There we are. No, just, yeah, it's working with this scrumbling motion, so we're just going to keep going with that for a minute. There we are. Just nice, small circular motions. There we are.
And Anita Ball's joined us.
Hi
Afternoon,
Anita, how you doing?
Or morning as it will be for you.
So just gonna move that over there a little bit and just come around the front of this shoe here. Now there is quite a shadow up the front of the toe, but we're just gonna get this bit in.
The picture doesn't show that bit.
Does it not? Okay. So there's quite a shadow up the front of that shoe. So we're just going to go round the shoe to start with. Move this up here.
Let me change that picture.
And there we are. There we go, just getting that shadow in there. Burning over this bark section here. It smells very different when you burn the bark section to burning the actual lime. It smells
Still not got that bit of
sweeter, a lot sweeter. There we are. And burns a lot quicker as well, as you can see. Look. There we go. Bring that down here, and what we'll do is just use that scrumbling motion on the lime section there. Well, it's all lime, but I mean the wood rather than the bark. Sometimes you have to play around with the bark section. Sometimes it needs a push-pull, and sometimes it needs circular. It depends on the type of wood and.
That would be the sapwoody bit you're in, not the bark.
Yeah, that one bit there, yeah. Well, it's attached to the bark. It, I think...
It burns different to the main piece of timber.
It does, yeah, but I think it also depends on what time of year that the tree's been cut down as to what that actually burns like. Because some you can get, and you know, it works really, really well, and it just burns like this one. You can burn it in straight lines, and it's done really, really well. Whereas some you have to go over and over and over, and you have to use, you know, a lot more layers. So it's still gentle pressure, just using this circular motion to get some of these layers in. I'm using a quick circular motion because I don't want it to scorch too much.
Right, so Bitten says when you burn the portrait, you burned one eye, then the other, and
Yeah.
so on. This time you burn all the dark places first. Why?
Because it's easier. Because if you think about when you put your pen onto your wood, it starts off dark, and as you pull it across your wood, it gets lighter and lighter and lighter, as if your pen's running out, really. So if you burn all your darker parts, when you come to burning your mid-tones, which is obviously a few shades lighter than the really dark, you can put your pen, this bit's going to be dark anyway, so you can put your pen here so it starts off dark and pull up, and it will naturally give you that shade that is fading out. So
yeah, it blends the darks.
It blends, yeah. So basically I just use my tool the way it naturally goes, rather than sort of forcing it to do something else. So, I mean, you don't have to do all the darks first. You do it the way you want to do it. I just prefer to do it that way because it's easier to then blend from darker to mid-tone, and then turn the pen down and you can go from mid-tone to really light. With portraits I always do eyes because you need to get those right.
You tend to do the main features, don't you, and then do
Yeah.
all the skin up for whatever it happens to be at the time.
Yeah, so it's you're basically doing sort of like the eyes and the nose and the mouth, because it's just that's what people notice straight away. I mean, if they're off, you can see them right away that they're off, especially if it's somebody that you know.
Yeah, and if you get it wrong, it's not as much work that you're scrapping to start again.
Yeah. So if you want to sand it off, you're only sanding off eyes or eyes and nose. It's not a lot of work. You haven't put sort of like, sort of 15 hours into a piece, and you sanding it all off. So I think I'd cry. I really would if I'd put that amount of time.
Yeah, Bitten says thank you, that makes sense.
You're welcome. So yeah, just getting this in. As you can see, this tool darkens really, really fast. But it is starting to ache on my hand right now, so I'm just going to finish this bit and then I'm going to switch over to the other machine.
Purely because you've got handache?
Yeah, it's just these types of tools are just really heavy. Well, not really, really heavy. They're just heavier than a normal pen, and of course, when it pulls down on you, it starts to make your hand ache a little. It's like me asking you to write a 6,000 word essay.
No point in asking me.
Your hand's going to ache even though you can use a pen. I think if I was asked to write a 6,000 word essay, I'd write a 6,000 word essay. I'll leave it at that. I won't even bother with any other words.
Yeah, you just get the title and that'll be it.
Yeah, that's it. No, that's not the title, that's the body. Right, so we've got that in there. That does need another layer in there, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm going to turn this one off for a minute.
Yeah, Bitten says I sanded an almost done portrait of my daughter off 3 times.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, isn't it, when you have to do that. So here we go. Right, where are you? Can I pull this down a little bit now? There we go. Is that right there?
Yeah, wherever you're working.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is there's some darker sections just underneath these laces on this side. So I'm just going to start with those. So I've got this on a 3.5 to start with. We'll see how it works. Oh, that's better. So just under. So I want to go round. So I'm using this. Sorry. I am using the spoon shader still. I'm just going to use it upside down. So as if your sugar has fallen off your spoon. And I'm just going to go around this eyelet. Because this eyelet here has got a reasonably dark patch. And that 3.5's not working for me. So I'm going to turn it up to 4.
You might want to zoom in a little as well.
Yeah, that's about as far as I'm going. If I
That's better.
that.
We can see
Yeah.
what you're doing there.
Oh, I've got my wire stuck on my light. There we go. So just moving that around there. Just to add this little bit of dark that's around the bottom of this eyelet. And then up into that lace there. So turn my spoon back the right way, because we're about to do a scrumbly motion just underneath this lace, because it's nice and dark. Oh, that feels like bliss.
Easily pleased.
Yeah, that's the one. There we go. And then we're going to go under this one here. So again, upside down. We're going to go around that eyelet. I may need to, I think I'll have to pull a bit of shadow up. And actually, that's coming down. So let's put a little bit, pull in from the darker, just a little bit lighter, because the eyelet actually stands up a little.
Yeah, they stand off the surface of the fabric, don't they?
Yeah. You can't really see it on the other one, but you can see it on this one, so we're going to add it in. And then go around and up that side there. So, and under here is dark again, so scrumbly motion, nice and dark, adding that underneath that lace.
Well, the chat's giving me an easy day today.
Yeah. Come on guys, give him some hassle. You're letting him off lightly today. Pulling that down. So I'm pulling from the darker into the lighter to blend from one to the other. My stitching is there, but we're just going to go straight across and pull down. I don't know if you can hear that, but the dog is actually snoring.
No, she ain't now. You woke her up.
Oh.
You said the word dog.
Yeah. It's like the word that begins with a W or the word that begins with a T.
Mm.
They're like, ping, I'm awake. Right, so there's actually a really dark line that goes all the way down there. Just there. And then pops out on that section there. So just using the sweeping motion or swinging motion. You got that bit on that side too. So again, I'm going to go around the eyelet and up to the lace, and then over. scrumbly motion around there.
You've gone all quiet on us.
I was talking. So I was just saying, I'm doing a scrumbly motion all down there. See, who's not listening now? Oh dear me.
It was the more you were mumbling it.
No, I wasn't. I was talking. I was just concentrating on trying to keep my head out of the way of the camera and get my head in the way so I can do details on this. There we go. I'm just going over the top of that lace there, just so I don't lose that line there. Actually do it on this one as well, I think. So this is only I'm only using the bottom of the bowl of this spoon shader, so it's actually giving a fuzzy line rather than a hard line, because you don't want hard lines. Not at the moment anyway. So circular scrumbling just there. So what's everybody been doing this week? Anything, I want to say exciting, but I can't say that I do anything exciting. So it's like, is anybody else doing anything exciting? So just going to go over the top of there. Or what's everybody else got planned this week? Bring that down, because that is darker just there, but not as dark as the top bit here. So just pull from the darkest bit into the next tone, which is, it's a mid-tone, but it's kind of a mid to dark. There we go. Right, let's get this down here now. So this isn't that dark. There's a shadow just here that I'm going to put in. There we go. So there's a shadow just there, but then that pulls into a lighter tone. So we'll pull from the dark into the lighter. There we go. I keep knocking my head on this light. So I'm going to pull again from the dark on that side into the lighter there.
So Lucy's asked, Phil, how is the construction coming along? And she wasn't in when we were discussing that.
Oh, for his, yeah.
Yeah. Half the frame's already welded up for the desk. The rest of it will be welded probably tomorrow. And then I'm hoping to get the main part of the desk in at some point during the week.
Yay! Then I can get my pencils on my desk.
And Anita's getting back to normal after our vacation. Jet lag is a killer.
Oh God, isn't it just? You been anywhere nice, Anita? When we flew back from the States in September, didn't we? And when we got back, we were desperately trying to stay up. But oh my God, it was a killer, wasn't it?
Andrew broke his car this week.
Oh.
Thought I would have hit a pothole at 60 mile an hour.
That's really easy at the moment. The potholes are terrible.
I think it's all this water we've had this winter.
Yeah, there has been an awful lot of water. And so it gets into the tarmac, doesn't it? So all of a sudden, you kind of hit February didn't we? And it was like all these potholes just appeared out of nowhere. So just darkening that bit down a little bit so the transition on that isn't quite so like drop off a cliff kind of thing. There we are.
Yeah, Lucy says there's more holes than roads these days.
There is. I mean, you went round one earlier. I think it would have hit it. I think it would have dropped in it and not come back out.
Yeah, I think we'd have certainly lost a wheel rim.
Yeah. It was you, wasn't it, that went down to no, it wasn't the tyre change, was it? Well, what was it? And that young lad had hit a pothole and he'd bent all his wheel up, hadn't he?
Yeah. Oh, it's the battery.
The battery, that was it. I knew it was something.
I went to pick up a new battery.
Yeah, and so this poor lad, he'd bent all his wheel up. He literally KO'd it. He had to be towed.
And it was a car with no spare.
Yeah, because there's loads of those, isn't there?
Oh no.
What?
Andrew should have been at Jamie's this weekend.
Oh.
So I missed out on the pies.
Oh no.
Oh, and Anita's been to South Africa.
Oh, nice. What did you do over there? Anything good?
Andrew, think of all the pounds and inches on your waistline you're not going to get.
They were
It's
nice
only
pies,
consolation.
though. They were nice pies. Right, so we have another last bit just on this one. So we've got a dark bit. So just going to go in and pull that down. I think we've done nothing but work this week, haven't we?
It's been one of those weeks.
Yeah, you kind of get them where they're all or nothing. So bringing that burn up into there. Sorry.
Went hunting. So Anita says they went hunting and toured Kruger National Park.
Nice.
And Andrew says, true, I do have a big belly. Yeah, you're not the only one, mate. It's even bigger after all those pies.
Yeah. He's sat there going, you cheeky so-and-so. So still just getting in these darker sections here and leaving a nice light stripe going all the way down because that's the end of the canvas fabric just there. And I've just filled all that in and didn't mean to. Never mind.
Yeah, Lucy agreed with me.
What?
Think of the good it's done your waistline.
Yeah. There we go. Going up there. I think that there is lace, isn't it? So we'll round that off a little bit. There we go. So it's got the rounded bit of the lace. Sometimes I see these lines and I'm like I'm counting up the laces and counting up the laces on the other side to try and make sure that they're right. Because I've done it a few times where I've not counted and I've got to the third one here and I'm looking at the fourth one over there and I'm like, that's the wrong shadow. But I have done the wrong shadow on that, so I'll sort that out before I forget it. And we're just going to take the little scraper and we're just going to pull that back a little bit just to lighten that up. We don't need to lighten it all the way. There's still...
And Kenny Laminto has joined us.
Hi,
awesome.
How you doing? Where are you tuning in from, Kenny? Just pulling this back here. Just scraping. I've just burnt this bit, and I shouldn't have done.
Oh, and Kez joined us and says, hi, I've been unable to join today, just got home from the weekend errands. Just wanted to pop in and say hi.
Hope you're doing okay, Anna. So, we've just burnt this section here. For those that have just joined, I've just burnt this section. I was overzealous and burnt it all, and I shouldn't have burnt it all, so now I'm scraping it back to make it right.
Kez messed up.
I did. But I'm showing you how to correct it. So all I've got is just just a Stanley blade. Nice and cheap and cheerful. And all I'm doing is using it so it's on its side, and I will scrape lightly away at this burn here.
And Kenny says, from my bed.
Oh, that is a great answer. I like that. Oh dear me. Oh, I do like that answer. Right, machine is still on number 4, and we are going to burn just under there and go over the top of that there, and just going over this layers again.
And Kenny says, okay, have a good stream, keep up the awesome work.
Okay, Kenny, thank you. And add that dark section in just there, going all the way down. And just add a layer of dark to this, I think, because that's not quite looking dark enough to me. I aiming for a bit darker in sections. Not all the sections, because some of these sections here, just above the laces, are not too dark, but this bit down here is actually quite dark. She's snoring again. So when you're looking at the values, the tonal values of these, you do have to look for the subtle changes. And you have to kind of add them in as you're burning. If you add the subtle changes in, the different values, rather than lots and lots of details, you add the changes of the colour in. That is what your eye, when you look at it, your eyes pick up on when you're looking at realism, is the changes, rather than lots and lots of details. You kind of pick up on the details afterwards. And we will do the details. I just tend to concentrate more on the values first and details second. So just using the swinging motion, I'm touching the wood as I'm going one way, and I'm touching the wood when I swing back the other way. It just helps to darken it just a little bit quicker. Not as fast as the Dremel, but we're doing okay with this one at the moment. Especially in this small space here. Oh, she's on the move. There we go. So this is where the stitching is. So I'm going to go up and add the first layer of burn on that stitching, because I can now go the other side just a little darker.
You would try and darken it enough that it looks right, but not lose your place.
Yeah, because what I want to do is use the blade at the end, and we'll add in the stitching bit by bit with the blade. So you need a little bit of burn on there because I need the wood to come through and you'll be able to see it at the end.
4 minutes to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's gone really fast today.
Say that every time.
No, that is
Sneaks
gone
up on you,
really
doesn't
fast.
it?
It has, yeah. I'm too busy yabbering away and trying to remember where I am. Anybody else do that? That's it, just darkening down. What's she eating? Oh, she's eating a stick. You have to watch her, she's a monkey for eating wires. There we are. So that is coming along just nicely on there. So if I just zoom out a second, you can see that that's starting to come together. Sometimes when you look up close and you kind of concentrated in like certain areas, it you don't see it as a whole. So when you zoom out and look, it then sort of, you can see everything kind of come together. And
you can now start to see the definition between the two.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the definition between the two, but you can see you're starting to pick up on these areas that are lighter and darker, and the tonal values and stuff like that. So, yeah, that is starting to come together really nicely. It did go through. Well, it's still going through a very ugly stage, and when we did this section here, it was very ugly, just like this is now. But as we build it up, it will start coming to life, thankfully. Thankfully, hopefully. It will.
We shall.
Yeah, it will, it will. I did it on the last two, why not the third time, you know? We can do it. So, but yeah, I mean, that's basically, I don't even know what time we'll be on.
Oh, 58.
Ooh. Yeah, so basically that is it for this week. We have added some of the extra shadows in. I'm glad that I used the Dremel. It's definitely sped everything up. I think I'd still be on this section here now if I hadn't have used that one. So yeah, that definitely speeds things up. Next week we'll just carry on with lots more layering and shading, and we will be back same time, Sunday 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. No, British Summertime. I put Greenwich Mean Time on, I think so. It's British Summertime, isn't it?
Still GMT. +1.
Yeah, so it's BST. My bad. These time zones. So, yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us, guys. It is much appreciated. It's great to spend this hour with you, just doodling along.
Here he says, "Lol, worry ye not, sorry. I've been going through the ugly stage for 54 years. Yeah, me too, mate. You're not on your own."
What are you like? You bunch of wallies. Right, so on that note, I'm going to bid you goodbye, and we'll see you same time next week for more layering and shading.
Yeah.
See you later, guys.
Take care, everybody.
Take
Thank you
care.
for
Have a
joining
good
us.
week. Bye.